my normal camera is dead, and I thought I plugged it in, but then it must have gotten unplugged immediately to plug in something else. Anyway, so I have my phone here. Sorry for the unsteadiness. So it is Wednesday morning, May. Oh, God. It's like a test and I'm failing it. Okay, so I just had a couple of updates that I wanted to make sure I got since yesterday afternoon. I think the last time I checked in was when I was setting the bale in the front. But when Chris got home, we set this bale in here. So this really reduces our chores, that we don't have to 4K. It also helps with the dust situation. So this is not a hay feeder. This is a lambing jug wrapped around it. As they eat this bale down, we'll definitely have to make some changes here. Push it in, something. We'll figure it out though. The big bale feeder would just be way too big, take up too much room in here. So yeah, so this is what we went with, and we'll work on that. Now I'm trying to get through to the lambing jugs to give you an update there. There's a little bit of a traffic jam here. So I just bottle fed everybody. Okay, so here's our the most gorgeous trio in the barn. Look at how beautiful these lambs are. Like, number one, that one, perfection. Number two, this one, oh my God, that woolly coat and the black eyes. I'm such a sucker for these lambs. So these guys need to get released into the maternity ward today. We just ran out of time yesterday, so they didn't get it. Oh, here's our number one ewe lamb. She's developing a swollen thymus gland right there. Oh God, it's hard to point. Right at the base of her throat. This is something that's unique to hair, sheep, and goats, and it's a sign of good health. Right, lady? You're a champ. Okay, so here's our little ewe that lambed yesterday morning that the vet came to assist on. She was so excited to have those lambs. She was mothering the heck out of them, but she would not let them nurse, and she was beating them up pretty good. We've had this before with first timers where they're like, I just don't know what's going on, and they don't understand that it's gonna feel good or that it's gonna give them all kinds of happiness hormones. So Chris, sheep champion, he laid her down, and then he got both of the lambs to nurse off of her. And during that, she was making the mothering sound, and like, I was like, oh good, this is just gonna put it together in her brain that you're supposed to feed these babies. And then we came back 2 hours later, she was kicking the crap out of them again. And so we pulled them to be bottle babies. I don't know, maybe we could have given them longer, but she wouldn't stand. At a lot of times the ewes just won't stand. But this time she was beating them up too, kind of butting them into the sides of the pen. I didn't want anybody to get hurt, especially since the one lamb from this group had a really rough birth and was kind of wobbly and floppy to begin with. So I moved them to this empty pen to be bottle babies, and I started feeding them. Then last night, this lady started laboring. Her name is Carla. I think I've talked about Carla before, but I didn't know the sheep I was talking about wasn't actually Carla. So this is Carla. She was a bottle baby herself, and she had an enormous dead lamb inside her. The lamb must have been dead for some time. I don't know what's going on. We're going to try to send this lamb out for testing at Cornell. Okay, anyway, I was like, well, she's got a lot of birthing fluids and plenty of milk. Let's try putting the twins from the morning on her. So we did, and that is going smashingly. So yeah, so she's had them all night, and she's clearly looking for feed. I'm gonna take care of that. So yeah, so that is good. That's 2 fewer bottle babies as long as this happy situation goes. I just offered both of these guys some colostrum. This would be their kind of last dose of colostrum, because they are 24 hours old at this point. Anyway, so they didn't want any. So she's feeding them up. This looks like a happy little situation. So this year was looking real sad that I took her babies away. I was concerned about her. She handled the birth really like a champ yesterday. She was right up. She didn't act like... So anyway, so I didn't give her any pain meds and I didn't give her any antibiotics. I just didn't feel like it was warranted for her. But then when I saw her this morning looking so rough, I was like, oh, so she could just be depressed that I took her lambs and that they're right across the hall and she can see them being mothered by another ewe. I know. And remember, she wanted the lambs. She just didn't want to feed them. So we did give her some pain meds and a dose of antibiotics this morning, and she is looking brighter now, sitting up, chewing her cud, etc. Anyway, so that is what's going on in the barn. Oh, also this morning, I sprayed the 2 ewes who I suspect are pregnant but are not ready. So they got green stripes like that, varying degrees of neatness since they were all running around like wild animals. And there's Bess. Okay, it's Wednesday afternoon. Here's the Ramlet. Look at this guy. He is looking so good. I can't even believe it. So today he almost escaped from this pen, and he's clearly not enjoying sitting on my lap right now. But I'm going to feed him, so he has to. He's not strong enough yet to like stand on the floor and drink. What's going on here? How come you're not drinking? It's a little after 2. I fed last time at 8:39, something like that. Yeah, it was 8:30. So he should be pretty hungry. There we go. Now we're doing it. So he's still not strong enough to like stand on his own and drink. Are you still drinking? Okay. Yeah, he had a couple ounces there. So he is doing fantastic. I'm thrilled. And we're going to have to think about moving him into the barn soon. When it looked like we were going to have, well, we do have, okay, so he's a bottle baby, the Bummer Lamb's bottle baby, and then June's 2 babies. She's feeding them now. As they get older and their requirements go up, they'll definitely need more than she can provide with one teat. So June's 2 babies, say half time. We only let them go 6 hours at the longest between feeds, which means that the longest we get to sleep ever is 5 hours, which is not long enough. I'm greedy. So anyway, I have been thinking about buying a milk machine, a small milk machine for small producers like us for a while. And when this happened, and also remember, we're not done lambing yet. So, I mean, hopefully we won't have any more bottle babies, but if we do. So I went on and I had picked out a milk machine that I thought would work for us. Anyway, a lot of this stuff comes from New Zealand, Europe, UK, places where people eat more lamb. So anyway, so I called them the next day to give them my credit card information because their website didn't have online shopping capability. And when I called, he said that they didn't have any machines in stock, that they were sold out for the season. And then he asked a couple of questions about our little operation here. And he was like, I might have something that will work even better for you and is also 1/3 of the price. So, sold. So that's what's in this box here. And we are so excited. It definitely appears that we are in our lull. Everybody with a big udder, everybody who looked like they were ready to lamb has now lambed, and we have 2 ewes who look like they may lamb in the future, but definitely not imminently. So I'm thinking if we can get these babies trained up on this machine, we can go to sleep at 10 and sleep till 6. Okay, so this is not a super complicated thing. the machine that we were going for, you would put the dry powder in and give it a water hookup, and then it would heat the water and mix the powder, and the babies would eat. But this, ta-da! So, anyone who knows me knows that I had a former life as a chemist. This is kind of like a jacketed reactor. So we mix the milk up in the kitchen the same way we do now, except for in larger quantities. And then we put it in here, and the water jacket heats it to our desired temperature, which is 102 degrees. Oh, this is called the Bambino Lacto. You run the tubing from the bucket to, you mount this plate inside your pen, and then there's 2 nipples. You can buy a kit to make 4 nipples. This can actually feed quite a lot of lambs. So I think this is definitely future-proof for us. We don't typically have too many bottle babies. So I really kind of came out to get an idea of what setup was going to be, because I definitely want to get these guys training on this tonight. So instead of coming out to feed the babies every 6 hours, instead of doing that, I'm going to come out pretty frequently, every 2 or 3 hours, and then I'm going to train these babies on this system. I'm super excited about this. I think this is going to be a great addition to our arsenal of equipment. Also, I said if we don't have any bottle babies or decide that we're not sheep farmers after all, we can always use this thing to heat soup. I mean, have you ever gone to an outdoor bonfire party and needed some hot soup over a period of time? Well, here you go. Crock pot. Forget the crock pot. We've got the Bambino Lacto. I'm going to take the owner's manual back to the house, look over it, look it over. Jeez, I can't. I've lost all my abilities. I texted the word use in a text this morning. I am from the upper Midwest, so I do feel like I am entitled to use the word use, but still, I usually stick to more boring, less regional dialects. Okay, so that's that. That's the unboxing. One other thing that I want to give an update on is last night, the lamb that was stillborn, we put her in the refrigerator, and then this morning I called the vet because we had spoken about sending a liver out for analysis for mineral levels, and at that time the only lamb livers that I had were frozen. Those are lambs who were stillborn that we just haven't had a chance to bury yet. But she wasn't sure if frozen would work. So when we had that stillborn lamb, I made sure that we refrigerated it. So she came by earlier and took the liver out of the baby, which is a really, I don't know what I thought. She just popped the liver right out. It was not very involved at all. So yeah, so she's sending that to Cornell. She took a little history to write down and send to the folks at Cornell. So as part of the history, she included, that we've had a total of 42 lambs this year, with 11 that didn't make it, and that we are struggling with, and that we've only had 3 or 4 unassisted births this year, which is, it's flip-flopped from normal. So I would say that normally we would have 3 or 4 assisted births, and everybody else would go on their own. So she's gonna send that along, and then I'm interested to see, hopefully there's some clues in the results as to what's been going on here. But more data is always good. Okay, Here we have one giant uncooperative ram lamb with splinted foot. So this guy was knuckled over. He was one that was a really hard pull, and I think I might have, stretched out his connective tissues a little bit. Relax yourself. There we go. Splint off, fleece off. All right, walk. Good job. Oh, your legs are a little skinnier. Okay. Oh my God. And there he is. No knuckling over. There's the ramlet. He looks good. He'll have to get used to walking without a splint. Hey, ramlet. Hey, buddy. Okay, he can go back with his mom. Okay, so it's Thursday, about 11 o'clock in the morning. I haven't been making much video at the late night and early morning checks because honestly, there's just not a ton going on. We're trying to kind of catch up on rest and get back to our lives, like eating meals instead of filling up on tortilla chips and hummus. We're trying to kind of get back to normal. We also stretched our overnight from 11 to 5 this morning, which should have felt luxurious. It didn't though, because I just stayed up later and goofed around looking at eBay. We'll have to talk about that when that stuff comes. And we don't have any colostrum drinkers right now, so I'm just doing a 6-hour schedule. The ramlet is the one that is the riskiest for, but he is eating so great. So yeah, we'll just keep an eye on him. Also, we're gonna get the Bambino Lacto right there up and running soon. I'm super eager to do that, but it's gonna take some time. And we just were totally wiped yesterday. We didn't tag. We've got lambs that need to be tagged and work that needs to get done that isn't particularly hard, but it's just time consuming. And yesterday we kind of laid on the couch and watched TV for like 2 hours when normally we would be doing this at that time, but it was nice and there's no rush. Okay, so I'm gonna head in and we'll talk there. There might be a situation here, a breakout. So I'm gonna check down here. See if anybody down here has a pink painted number. Oh, or if there's any lambs. Hi, mamas. No, it doesn't look like anybody got out. One thing to look at while we're here is that this ewe right there with the green stripe, we're keeping an eye on her. She looks like she's getting ready to lamb. In the next couple days, maybe. Let me have a look. She looks good. She's look at the lioness. This is what's happening now. Our amazing foster mom is doing great. I am feeding that baby with the blue dot. That's the baby that had a really swollen tongue when it was born, and so I continued to feed it because I wasn't sure if it was able to nurse effectively or efficiently. And kind of in that time, it kind of became my baby. This mom is mothering it, fantastic. And I'm just not sure how much feed, because it drinks quite a lot from the bottle. So it might just have nipple confusion. I might have just like programmed it to think that it was a bottle baby too soon. But remember, it did go I think it's ewe lamb. She did go for a few hours, like 12 hours with no real mother to speak of because her mother wouldn't stand for her to nurse. So anyway, so obviously I fed during that time. It's a super, super critical time to make sure that the lambs are getting enough colostrum. So I just think that like during that time, this lamb was like, I'm a bottle baby. This is it. The most beautiful lambs. Sorry, no offense, everybody else. Here's, I can't wait to get them out so I can get some nice video of them. Look how beautiful. Oh, God, I'm so biased. I'm so biased. Okay, here I am. I'm in the lambing jug where the ramlet lives. And here he is. Say hello. This is next to the hay feeder in the maternity ward. We're going to get him out of here soon, but I need for him to be drinking kind of on his own. Like, I need him to be running to me when it's time to eat and drinking without support. These are the guidelines that I see, and he still needs quite a bit of support. You get a swallow, love. Yeah, you're hungry. I know it. Yeah, so he's not there yet, but I'm continually impressed that he's still alive. There he goes. But yeah, I just need for him to be a little stronger before I mix him in with the rest of the gang. This morning, I was in here feeding him, and Chris put all the bottle babies in with me for ease, which is a great idea, except that this lamb right here was so distracted, he couldn't even function. Okay, so I don't remember how much milk was in here, but it was equivalent to this. Yeah, so he's had probably 3 ounces, which is good for, I mean, 4 or 5 might be better, but we take what we can get, right? We take what we can get. Yes, we do. You want to try again? Do you want to try again? Oh my gosh. You're the sweetest little guy. So sweet. This is how pet lambs get born, right? What are we going to do? Eat this guy? Forget it. Forget it, right? We're not going to eat you. Unless you turn mean. Okay, let's try again. Oh, he's just butting my boob. Looking for more milk. He does so many instinctive nursing behaviors. It's really interesting for an animal who has never really nursed. You want to try it a little more? Yeah. Oh, he's had a ton. Oh, his belly is totally full. He's had a ton. He's looking great. I mean, I don't know how old he is now. 6 days old? Is that how old you are? Yeah, it's not great, but remember I tubed him for 2.5 days. Yeah. And he's doing it. He's living the dream, baby. This is a bottle lamb. This is one of June's babies. Remember, she's the ewe that has only 1 working teat out of 4 confusing teats. So yeah, it looks like he's the only one here, so I'll grab him. It's actually a ewe lamb. All right, baby. Come here. Come here. Come here. So she is younger, I think, than this. Oh no, they're the same age. These 2 were born on the same day. When she's done drinking, I'll hold them up side by side. She's a twin, though. You have to keep that in mind. This is the lamb that was born backward and had, I think, some oxygen deprivation at the beginning of her life. Anyway, I don't remember if I talked about that. Okay, here they are. So it's hard to say, but yeah, she's probably twice his size, easy. She's also eating like a champion. Come on. Come on, Mama. Boogie, come here. I'm going to pick you. I'm going to pick you. Oh my God. So that's what we need this guy to do. No. That's what we need this guy to do. I need to be able to call him and he'll come running to eat. Can I turn her sideways so you can see? Oh, I wonder if I can turn her around frontwise. There you go. So she's obviously so strong. Pulling her as the strongest of the triplets was definitely a good choice. The other 2 6s are looking great. She just drank this whole bottom. All gone. All gone. So now there's none for the other babies. Yeah, it's all gone, you piglet. Our amazing foster mom. She has a condition called retained placenta where she hasn't lost her after birth yet. You treat this with antibiotics, but we've never had one go this long. Oh, remember, we treated Charlotte for this, but she didn't have a definite retained placenta diagnosis. She had something strange going on. We wanted to keep a close eye on her to just make sure that she didn't get something serious. But this ewe has like textbook retained placenta. She's had 2 days of antibiotics, so tonight she's due for her 3rd dose. But I am worried because, you know, we've never had this, but also she's such a great ewe. She's such a great ewe. Any ewe who will foster 12-hour-old lambs is a gem, and you want to keep her in your flock, and you want her genetics in your flock. So yeah, so that's definitely something that I am concerned about. So anyway, these guys are done. These guys are done. I should do some work, but sitting here with these guys might seem like more fun. I cannot wait for this lambing season to be over. Last night when we saw that that ewe with the green stripe was oh, hello. Uh-oh, what have you done? You silly goose. Yeah, I know it sounds awful, but I just wish these 2 other ewes weren't pregnant and that we could move on. Somebody told me once that if you don't go to college for farming, but even if you do go to college for farming, you can't really learn the job until you're doing it. And that whenever you have something like this happen, this is when you're paying your tuition. So yeah, this season we have definitely paid our tuition in the College of Ovine Husbandry. We've paid it in the form of tears and exhaustion and vet bills, and but it's only going to make us, you know, better and more knowledgeable. I feel like these vlogs are so whiny right now, and I'm a little embarrassed by that, but it's, you know, it's an honest reaction to a real situation. So I hope it's taken that way. Okay, I filled waters. Hang on, I'll give you an update. I'm just filling baking soda and mineral now. I realized they were out of everything. So as I was feeding the ewes that are in the jugs, so our foster mom with 2 lambs, our mom who rejected her babies, and then the mom with the most beautiful twins in the world. Like, they should have a song, and you can see like sparkles around them. The other ewes all got so squawky, which you can probably still hear. Mineral into the feeder. And I realized that, like, Well, I did want to push them on that bale with the panel in place because they obviously, they don't want to eat the coarse stuff. They only want to eat the yummy stuff. You know, it's like me. I don't eat pizza crust. If it doesn't have cheese on it, I'm not interested. But I realized that we did push them on it and it was time to move it. I just added some mineral. I don't put very much mineral in this pan at any one time because they stand in it. Look how these lambs go for it. It's amazing. I guess I haven't. Uh-oh, there's a major fight going on down here. I don't think there's any need for this. Oh. Who are you? God, our numbering is so good. I can't even read. Oh, 10. You're 10 and 7. Fighting here. There's Freckles. Freckles, can you tell them to knock it off? You two are setting a bad example for these babies. I hope you can live with yourselves. I don't know what I recorded just now. Maybe nothing. I was just saying that the reason I was reluctant to take the gates from around that bale is because the layers peel away as they dig for their more preferred species, and then they waste what's left by standing on it. So anyway, so we try to limit that behavior as much as possible, and I'm sure that we'll do something else to try and, oh my God, these two, the fighting. The reason that this is kind of a higher concern than normal is because we are out of dry hay. So we have this bale here in the maternity ward. We've got this bale over here behind me that we've been feeding the ewes in the jugs from, and then there's a bale down there at the end that I set the other day for the Gen Pop. So that's it. That's all we got. So these ewes need to transition back to haylage soon, and then out on grass. So the reason that they're still in here is, for one, the weather is still iffy. We're supposed to get a lot of rain in the next couple of days. You know, all it takes is for a lamb to be separated from its mom for a few hours, and then for it to get wet and cold, and they can slide downhill fast. So they're still in here. And also in here, they're easy to capture. And all of these lambs need vaccines before they can go out. So lambs who are being raised by their mothers will lose their mom's immunity by 6 to 8 weeks old. My understanding is that you don't really want to do it much sooner than that because, I don't know, the existing immunity makes the vaccine less effective. I might have just made that up. Look at these guys, the mineral gang. They're a huge baby for only being a few days old.